obviously I've been telling people, Governor DeSantis and I wanted to ring the alarm bell and explain to people what's really happening in the PPE market. So we've been talking about how we're dealing with brokers and distributors, and how our orders of 3.5 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, have not been filled, or they've been filled only 10%, and going to warehouses that are completely empty after we've signed hundreds of millions of dollars of POs, only to come up with thin air, and cargo planes that don't even exist on the flight plans. So I mean, it's been a complete and utter runaround with what's going on in the N95 marketplace. And so obviously, after it got featured on a couple of shows, 3M reached out to me, their government relations folks, and I just asked a very simple question, which is, can I buy masks directly from you? You have masks, you sell masks, you make masks, and I have money. Can I buy them from you? And the answer was no. I have to go through their authorized distributors. And so obviously that's apparently unique to 3M, is they make a product but can't sell it to me directly. And so we've been dealing with their authorized distributors, and they're the ones who have told us directly that the reason why our orders keep getting pushed down, or we're getting only partial fulfillment, is because folks are walking in with cash. And I said, I don't understand what you mean, folks are walking in with cash. They said, well, look, foreign countries are buying directly. They're walking in with cash. In foreign countries where we have factories in America, where we have factories. And so that was just so mind-boggling. So I said to the gentleman from 3M, I said, so let me ask you a question. Have you put out any written guidance that specifically says to your authorized distributors that A, they can't charge more than a certain price, and B, not that they can't sell to foreign governments and not fulfill the orders from hospitals, emergency management departments? And the answer we got was no. So today, the CEO of 3M reached out to Governor DeSantis, obviously, due to the White House's action on this, because the state of Florida is the one who obviously, pulled the curtain back on what's happening, in this space. The Production Act has been used. So the CEO of 3M said to the Governor DeSantis that, they want to help, and they're looking to try to make good on the situation. And that's great. To be clear, the only way they can make good on that is for the orders that I have for the millions of masks that we have ordered, is to get those masks delivered to the state so that I can get them to doctors and nurses and hospital workers and first responders as fast as possible.
I want to be very clear. Those distributors, are some of them outside of this country? So the masks essentially go out of this country, and then you got to buy them to be sent back to the country? No,
so most of these, no, sorry, let me reframe. All of these 3M authorized distributors, they are all U.S. companies, okay? And so they control these N95 masks. It's almost like 3M has lost complete control of their own product. And these authorized distributors were taking masks made in this country, selling them overseas. And then obviously 3M has factories out of this country, which these authorized distributors can sell those products as well. But those products, they were having a problem getting into this country. And before I could even get any of those masks, foreign governments were walking into those factories, paying cash and getting to the front of the line.
But Mr. Director, is the money from Florida not as good as the money from said country?
Well, listen, money is money. But
right. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why they would say that. They're coming. I mean, you're offering good money, right?
Well, listen, I have waived every procurement rule. I've waived every financial rule. I'm putting money into escrow accounts. But the one thing I won't do is I won't send somebody with cash in a briefcase to make a transaction with N95 masks, like I'm buying an 8-ball of N95 masks on a corner, which is what what seems to be happening, okay, with a lot of foreign countries and brokers and representatives. I mean, the idea that I should wire tens of millions of dollars to an account that was set up the same day in Singapore, should raise, a lot of alarm bells. And so, we still obviously have to be responsible with taxpayer dollars. We're doing everything we can. There's no bureaucratic process. All the red tape has been eliminated, but we're also not going to be irresponsible.
What has 3M told you in terms of, here's what I'll do to change it, and I'll get the masks to you by said date?
No, they haven't done that. They've just said they're willing to help. They're going to try to make good on it. They're going to try to get us masks, but I don't have a plan. I mean, they know the orders that I have. They can see them in their system. I've not heard from 3M that this order's coming tomorrow or this order's coming, on Tuesday. No, I've heard no updates from them. So far it seems to be, a better attitude about them wanting to come to the table, but I don't have any results at the moment.
Let's talk about this story where 3M masks were intercepted in Thailand. They were headed for Germany, and I heard you sent out a tweet about how you thought about those being intercepted and rerouted back to the United States.
Yeah, my tweet was, I think it pretty much said, "Oh, sorry, Germany," and that's okay. That's how the Production Act is supposed to work. And so that's a success story. Those masks were rerouted to the United States. Obviously, we have good relationships with a lot of foreign countries, and we want to keep those relationships, and we want to keep our trade agreements. But these are not the same times that we made those agreements and formed those relationships. And if we had extra masks to go around, then we should absolutely go help the world. But if we got U.S. doctors and U.S. nurses and U.S. physicians and experts, radiologists in our hospitals who can't get the requisite PPE, then right now that's where it needs to go. It needs to go to our first responders on the front lines, who are the real heroes of what's going on. And if we happen to have extra, then we'll send it out of country. But until such time, right now we got to take care of our own.
What kind of need does Florida have for masks? How many are you trying to secure?
Oh, listen, I need millions of masks to fulfill all of my requests. And so, thankfully, FEMA and HHS have sent us, about 700,000 masks. We had several 100,000 on hand before this. We've gotten dribs and drabs from some of the vendors that, have crept those numbers up. We've gotten a lot of donations from Lowe's and Walgreens and Apple and Home Depot and Disney World. And so we've been able to send out probably about 1 million masks around the state. But, look, we have procedural masks. We have KN95s, which is this other mask that the FDA has given provisional approval to. We have goggles, we have gowns, we have face shields. We're even finding ventilators. But for some reason, the N95 mask is a product that escapes us.
Other than publicly shaming them, what else can you do?
Well, I think publicly shaming them has worked quite well, actually. I think you saw that response very quickly out of the White House. Pete Navarro has been very clear with his comments. Obviously, the president signed the Production Act, and the president's been very, very direct in his conversations with 3M. Obviously, I think the quote was that they got to stop whining and make masks. It's great that they want to revive, that 3M has decided that, they're going to be the corporation to try to revive the League of Nations. And I appreciate, that they want to be a good UN partner, and that's wonderful. They can do that on their own time after they take care of their home country.
So what are you looking for? What's the next step where they show you that, yeah, we're making good on, we take you guys seriously?
Sure. Someone from my warehouse calls me and says, "Hey, great, guess what? Masks have just shown up. N95 masks. 3M came through." That's all I'm looking for. You would literally think in America, right? It's a very easy, simple transaction. They make masks, they sell me masks, I give them money, and we go our separate ways. But they've made this process so complicated that they literally, until now potentially, we'll see, have no ability to sell me masks directly.
I just wanted everybody watching this to see what one state, who, by the way, is the state that has the highest elderly population in the United States, is dealing with when it comes to getting their first responders and medical personnel masks. Any final word from you?
No, listen, I appreciate everything, you're doing, the media is doing to highlight this issue, right? Obviously, when the media helps, put some sunlight on an issue, it's the best disinfectant. And, this is important. Lives are on the line. It's not about me. It's not about 3M. It's not about anybody else involved. This is about trying to fix the problem so we can get these masks to the front lines.
Mr. Director, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it. It'll be up very shortly.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You bet.